guys, Bulma here. I kind of like this universe. Not a lot of dinosaurs or air cars, though. Anyway, who had asked me to cover for him today for this video because I have a pretty good grasp on how these things work. And so today, we're going to talk about the capsules of Capsule Corporation. Now, granted, Dad knows the most about them, but I am a genius, so this won't be too hard. All right. So to start, let's talk about what the capsules are. Back home, and this is in one of your neat guidebooks too, my dad invented what we call the hoi poi capsules. They're actually kind of a big deal, which is why I am almost as rich as I am beautiful. You see, when Dad made them, it led to what they called a capsule revolution, and it made it super easy to transport any number of goods, including luxury goods. And from the money he made, Dad expanded the company into creating vehicles and electronics to put into the capsules, so we became a household name. When I was a little girl, the company got so big that we almost held the majority of the vehicle market worldwide at about 48%. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry about that. So capsules, they're these little cylindrical containers with a little button on top that you press, and once you do, you toss it in with a boom, it transforms into the object that was inside the capsule. It's pretty easy. It just shrinks an object like a boar or a car or even a house into its component particles. And then it expands again back into its original state. And if you want to put it back in a capsule, there will be a little button on the side of it that reverses the process. Also, a good rule of thumb when wondering when an item was a capsule is if there's a big number planted on it. These numbers signify what the item is, though sometimes I like to keep it clean and just have my capsules numbered from 1 to however many I have so I can keep track of them easier. I even get a shop owner to number my capsules at Boss Rabbit's Village, even though their regular numbers were behind the guy selling them to me. I can pretty much guarantee that if a capsule has a 1 on it, it's a house. But like with a lot of things, there are exceptions to the rule. Those red ribbon army jerks tried to get into competition with us, particularly in making capsules with military items in them. From what I could tell during Goku and mine adventures messing those thugs up, it looks like they put numbers on their capsules too, but it's hard to be certain. You can probably be sure that their numbers don't align with ours. And there are a number of objects we see that are used that come from capsules, at least likely, but they don't have the company numbers on them. My bike when I first met Goku had the number 9 on it above the capsule slogan, though my second bike didn't have a number on it, and then it disappeared once I set the house down, though that was so long ago I could have just parked it in the back. But man, it must have been a capsule though, because where would it have come from? It's so long ago. And when we met Yamcha, he had a few vehicles that didn't have capsule numbers. Though it's likely because he got his from some black market thing, or he stole it from some other crooks that didn't want to be identified as a capsule product. Gosh, Yamcha was a real baddie, wasn't he? I won't think too far into that though. Oh, speaking of bikes, there was this one time that a cop brought Goku back to my house, and my dad recognized his bike was made by us right away. Maybe it was the number 85 on it, signifying a police bike. The word police was stamped on the vehicle a few times. Anyway, back to less stand-up members of society. There's a lot of scummy people out there that probably remove the numbers, and they get thrown around by either crooks or people who use what they can to scrape by, which is fair. In the village we met Oolong. Most of the houses had numbers, but I didn't see any buttons to turn them back into capsules. So maybe they numbered them for a different reason. Also, I guess if the items are small enough, you can put multiple items into one capsule. Like that time I accidentally took my dad's capsule case and found one had a bunch of dirty magazines in it. And of course, more seriously, when a lot of our friends died fighting King Piccolo and we put their bodies in preservation chambers, interring them in capsules. Their bodies and the chambers were multiple items, of course. Although, come to think of it, we can also count all the utensils and televisions and beds when we open up a house. So maybe they don't have to be so small. Sorry, I know a lot, but I specialize in other areas, you know? Also, there are different capsule sizes, though I can only think of one instance when they were mentioned. And I was asleep for that. Oolong later told me when Yamcha was trying to steal from him, Oolong pulled out a size M capsule, and Yamcha was impressed. Hard to say what was in it since my little ones hold houses. Maybe I ought to ask Dad when I get home. Anyway, as time goes on, Capsule Corp made more and more items, and so the numbers that represented them got bigger. Pooh had told me that sometime later on I'll meet a purple-head mysterious stranger that saves the world, and he has some capsules that go up to 2031. That one being a mini fridge. They're getting there pretty soon the way we're cranking these bad boys out. Also, Pooh wanted me to say that his friend Clearin was actually surprised that Toriyama was so consistent with writing the Capsule Corp names on items and vehicles, though I'm not sure who this Toriyama guy is, even if his name is kind of familiar. Oh wow, that seems to be everything I can really say about capsules. They're a really cool invention, and I'm super proud of Dad for coming up with them. It's easy to see where I get my brains from, though my beauty is from my mom, of course. Now I'll give it back to Pooh. Thanks, guys.
Oh shit, wait. Was Bulma here? Ah, great, I missed her. Oh well. Anyway, I want to thank my patrons. It appears that $36 a month in total is enough for me to buy a time machine. In all seriousness though, please thank my friend Clearin for providing the information, and the lovely Sun-chan for voicing Bulma in the clip. I needed to crank a video out this week, but as I'm super busy, I was helped in that regard by a few friends. You can find both of their social media in the links below too. Alright, see you peeps.